Welcome to another episode number 5 of Highly Productive, where I sit down with young entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, and alike, and discuss their ability to reach the levels that they reached while using cannabis as a utility on the side. Not every day, maybe every day, like it depends on the day.
It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro.
Okay. Yeah. That's a Logan Paul. Was it?
It's one of the Pauls.
One of the Pauls.
They're kind of like one amalgamous human at this point.
Yeah, I find them mega interesting. All right, before we go on that tangent, because I will go on a tangent. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is a good friend of mine, Tucker Boner, also known as Jericho Online.
That's my name.
That is his name. And we've been friends since like 13 years. Well, 12 years.
It's over it's over a decade. You, Diesel, like the old optic stuff. I mean, it's crazy because I keep thinking, oh yeah, it was just like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. No, we're old, man.
Oh my God, I'm definitely old. You're 30. You're 30 yet? 27?
28.
28.
I know. I'm so young. I feel like
young, dude. You don't look it. But no, it's crazy. We came up in an era in which gaming was like wild as F.
Wild West. It was literally the Wild West. Everything that you were doing was still that was back when the gaming companies weren't even very chill with the idea of you streaming and monetizing it, right? Like you had to do the correct thing to get them to okay you. Now it's just like, please, we'll pay you to play the game. Like, please.
Yeah.
So
what's so Jericho is a gamer turned live streamer and content creator on YouTube who has then pivoted away from just gaming and now does some RL stuff, real life stuff. It's a gaming term for the cannabis enthusiasts
IRL
that watch this.
What does that mean? What do you mean I do IRL stuff?
Like, you know, your Zillow streams.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not video games, it's real life shit.
I see what you're saying.
It's not the metaverse real life, but it's the metaverse life. Anyway. So you've done everything. You went from gaming to doing absolutely just anything you want now, which is like the beauty of YouTube, I think, that they're there for you and not necessarily the things that you do. So, with that introduction, Jericho, who are you today? Who are you now? How do you see yourself?
Who am I, man? I think the biggest thing for me, and I feel like we've had this talk once every 2 years for the last 10 years, because this is like a common thing that we always get together and discuss. We all come from similar backgrounds, but we've all ended up doing, I don't know how, you ended up running a weed company. And I'm like, I have a record label, but we just find the ways to continue doing things that are fun. And yeah, that's who I am now. I'm just like actively seeking the most enjoyable things that I can do and the things that I think are going to leave me with like lasting memories, not really just things that are easy, efficient, or like to make a quick buck.
I have a feeling that everybody that I talk to, the majority of the people that I talk to on this podcast are going to be from our world, where we are doing things that we love to do for a living, and we get to live this weird life because of it, right? We have a weird simulation lifestyle that not everybody gets to enjoy.
Oh yeah, I mean, and out of all the things that we get to do, there are certain moments that pop up that you really recognize deep down. You're like, yep, this happened because I just wanted to play video games, or I just wanted to do something. And you can see the snowball, the where it started and how you ended up there. And that's when you're like, oh, I'm on the right track. Things are going well.
Yeah. And I said majority and not all of the people, because hopefully somebody out there who is this mega lawyer, right, that works with Fortune 500 companies is going to be like, I'll come on your podcast.
Oh, I see in terms of like using weed recreationally or medicinally, it definitely is something that you're going to find creatives, I'm sure, use more often than not, because especially when we work for ourselves, like if I wanted to this morning, yes, I could have smoked. I mean, I currently am. And then I'm going to go home and watch YouTube videos. And like, that's a thing I can do. But if you're in a structured job, a little harder to get around that, right?
But is there? I mean, everybody has a smoke break, right? Like the 10-minute smoke break that's awarded to cigarette smokers in every I mean, I don't know how it is now.
Yeah.
But back in corporate America days for me, that's how it was. And I used to be like, How come they get it like 15 minutes an hour?
Yeah.
Where's my 15 minutes an hour to just chill? Like, I'm not picking up on somebody else's slack while they put tar in their lungs.
But I mean, that is crazy and very true. There's like there's definitely studies done of how much productivity is lost by giving somebody a 10-minute smoke break every hour. I'm on team as long as you're getting the job done. Then like what it really doesn't matter to me as long as you're productive and contributing to the team in a way you're expected. Yeah, that's great. And then at least with everything, as long as it's handled and you're dealing with it in a meaningful personal way, then again, whatever you want to do. Yeah, as long as it's not hurting people.
You know, as you were going through that, I thought about how unfair that is for hard workers, right? Because you know, if a quota of, call it 60 units of whatever needs to be done on a weekly basis, and there's a dude out there that's such a fucking grind, it comes natural to him, that drops 30 on the reg. I'm just kidding. But yes, it's that action is supposed to elevate people around them. Right. Right? Yeah. Right? So let's call it there's 4 workers, right? Okay. Johnny 60, right, is the guy that's setting the new goals and standards. Then we have Hector, right? The guy that's just like coasting on taking a 15-minute smoke break.
I mean, you're hanging out. You're getting your job done, though.
If Johnny 60 says, in a sense, man, fuck this, man, I'm working all this hard. Like, why would I do this? And then his productivity goes down to the same level as everybody else. He gets fired. Yeah. Which is unfair because he's like.
This is why you always promise and over-deliver. All right? Never set yourself up for failure. Always just tell everyone that you meet, like, my dick is tiny. Yeah. And then there is nothing that can go wrong.
But it's really cute.
Don't even. Like, I swear, it's chill. But I mean, it does suck. I think at least for me, and this is the first time that we said prior to the cameras being on, like, I've never smoked on camera despite smoking weed virtually every day for the last decade.
Virtually, what do you mean?
Virtually every day, as in like almost every day. Okay, not like I'm hitting my NFT fucking I thought you meant,
so not in the
right, but
in RL
in real life, yeah. And so I think that just like with everything in life, it's a balancing act, and as long as you're cognizant of that, aware of it, then like do it. Yeah, like whatever you want to do is fine. Yeah, it's cool.
Look, if you ever get high and some shit just doesn't get done, then don't do it. That's not for you, right? But if you become even more productive, then by all means, right? Like do your thing, right? Like you said, as long as the work is getting done, what does it matter, right? At the end of the day. All right, so some of the peaks and valleys that we've all seen in the gaming community, right? With at Apocalypse and like all these things, how or just even staying relevant, which is like the number one thing that people die of in this industry. Yeah, is relevancy.
Of course,
you have been around since 2008, 2009.
Yeah. Like 2009 you know what I'm saying? Was the first like regular stuff. Yeah,
and you're still doing this as like. Not necessarily the only source of income or to the only source of being able to stay alive, but it is, and you still have an audience, and you still like what pivots have you found in the middle of that? Like, how did you adjust to the waves of time?
I think everybody. It's what's that office quote? Like, how do you tell you're in the good old days or whatever when you're actually in them? Yeah, it feels a lot like that where. There are times where I've thought to myself, I should probably start making Counter-Strike videos or I should make Minecraft videos. And that as a choice happened and things went well. But there are other times where you just completely missed the wave. And I never made a Vine account ever. And that's one of those things I look back and I'm like, well, what could have been if I had actually ended up putting effort into that? So it's hard to figure out if there's any like telltale signs where I'm like, I need to change, I need to shift. But you do things long enough, you can see patterns and trends, and then you're like, okay, well, maybe we can't do face camless YouTube videos anymore. Like maybe I gotta do cooking videos or something that's like in real life that like personifies you. So I don't think, at least recently, it's just been a big shift of just whatever is fun to do and not like chasing a specific number. Because after 10, 12 years, like, I'm kind of tired. Like now I'm just looking I'm like the chef that just wants to make like 2 or 3 things really well. And then like you can fuck off for everything else. Like
they just want to sing Hotel California.
Yeah, exactly.
The 3 hits.
Yeah.
All right. So in the same thought, which was what? What was the thought?
The thought, I think that you were asking is like, how did you
stay relevant the whole
how do you
time.
stay afloat?
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Well, because it changes, right? A lot of people get stuck in their old ways and they don't do like the amount of times that I hear is like, I don't like this Call of Duty, whatever. I'm like people that go be, construction workers, people that go work in the mills, people like they don't like their job, but they gotta because it's their fucking job.
Yeah.
And it's not, you're paying for it.
Right.
We've come to such a spoiled place in this industry that we often just like miss the point. And sometimes you're like, man, God, this is my job, man.
That's there's two ways to look at it. The way that you looked at it, where I definitely have found myself complaining about things that I know damn well I would be not complaining about if I was working at Chick-fil-A still or something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are gives and takes, right? And you
100%.
can also look at it and be like you're entitled to complain and be pissed off about playing Counter-Strike every single day. And part of the reason that I do what I do is so I can make the choice to just not play Counter-Strike again for a while. And so while then you're giving up like money in exchange for happiness. That's a whole nother topic. But you still have to make choices like that may adversely affect your business or your happiness just to do what you need to do, whether it's being happy or like earning money.
Yeah.
So, but it is a job still, like everything.
Yeah. I mean, the like I said, staying relevant is like the one thing that I've always been baffled with, right? Because think about all our friends that were there once and are not even in the industry anymore, right? Like,
I think about it too, because it's going to be in everything, sports or in any media. Like, when do you make the choice to leave, or do you ever make that choice? Do you ride off into the sunset? Is it a quick end? Is it a long drawn out one? I mean, there's some bands that I used to love listening to in high school, metal bands, like this one Devil Driver, super dope metal band. I haven't listened to a single new song they've put out since I stopped really listening to them in high school, but they're still making music. Are they like thrilled? They're not nearly as big as they once were. Yeah. Like, when do they stop? Do they stop? What's it matter?
Well, I think artists don't have that choice.
Because they have to create or they have to do things,
because
right?
They love that shit.
Yeah, but so like, how is I think you're a perennial business founder, all right? You're going to I can't imagine a world in which you or I just stop things, right? No. Like, I have to do something, and it's not a question of like if it's going to be successful. It's just like I need to be active in some part of my life here. Yeah, and that's just like, maybe that's just who you are or who we are.
I mean, I have this, you have a music business. You know what I mean? So it's not like, we have these things, but there's so many other options and opportunities that come with an audience that you may not necessarily have the same opportunities. But if you think about the amount of people that were killing it back in the day and where they're at now, still doing the same thing, but with a margin or a fraction of what they used to have, it's like insane. Because to me, as an industry expert and participant, like, I wonder, what is the minimum amount of people that you need to have watching you and supporting you?
Hey, I like this question.
For you to not have the fancy shit, but live life doing what you love to do.
Dude, so I've thought about this too, because there was a time in 2018, 17 or some shit like that, where I was playing PUBG all day, every day, 8 hours. And excuse me, it's good weed. Bro, I'm dying over here. And I remember playing PUBG and I was getting like 900 viewers on Twitch, which is fucking great. All right, let's not lose sight of it. But in the grand scheme of things and where I was and where I wanted to be, it just was not. It was not doing it for me. And I was thinking, like, what other alternatives do I have? What do I want to do if I wasn't doing this? And I kept on circling back to, I would still at some point just need to make YouTube videos and live stream. Like, it's just all I've ever done. It's a core part of me, and I like that creative outlet. So then it wasn't even a question of like, when would you stop? It's just, how much would you do it? And I can't answer the question because I've never had a main focus outside of that. But I look at Nade. I look at Nade Shot, Matt, our friend, and I'm like, he kind of does in my head what I would do. He has the freedom to live stream whenever he wants, and he doesn't do it every day, but he'll stream for like 3 days straight, and then he'll just fuck off for a week. And I like that. Like, that's truly working on things you love, but getting to express yourself when you want, how you want.
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Dude, I thought about that because my vlog is mega inconsistent. I'll go like 2 weeks in a row and then nothing for like 3 days, and then a vlog and then nothing. And I'm like, if nothing's happening, I'm no longer gonna force myself to, go and build or go and paint, go and do like stuff for that. I'd just rather do shit that's gonna
Luxury of choice, though,
Yeah.
right? Because we've been talking about how lucky you could be to be in a situation where you can make these jobs and do whatever. But like truly, the luxury of choice, the being artistically able to make that decision and not financially motivated, is like the end goal for any creative person. They don't want to be working on maybe they do, but most of them don't want to work on like the writing credits for a pop song that they get no love out of. They want to make the art they want to make, but one pays the bills and the other one is just for fun. So like if you can pay the bills on your fun stuff, like I think you've kind of hit the upper echelon. What more is there as a creative for you?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And that's what Chef Talbot.
Give up.
Chef Talbot and I were talking about that on the last episode. Like the dream is to make a living and live life doing the shit that you're most passionate about. Because if you go out of your way to make money just for the sake of making money and hating it, you're still always going to use that money to do the things that you love that you could have been living on from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, every there's so many nuances, and I know somebody listens like, yeah, but I don't have that choice, as he's like working some McDonald's job.
Yeah.
Right. But like, and that's true, but you may have the choice at some point, and then you
could figure it out.
Yeah.
Or at least you can figure out for sure whether or not you do or don't have the choice.
Right.
Because just saying you don't have the choice, you're right, you don't. But if you said, I'm like, I don't have the choice, or do I?
Or what if the opportunity did come up, how would this look like? Because I knew, dude, when I told my parents that I was leaving college the first semester to move to LA with a bunch of people they had never met, that I had met online and really only met at conventions.
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself, like, all right, boy, you got to have like the PowerPoint ready. Like, there's no way that they're going to...
As you present your parents.
Yeah, because there's no way that they were going to just accept me doing it. They needed me doing it and why, and here's why, and here's what like the point is. But I had been thinking about that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks prior to it. I'm all for spontaneity, but like rational spontaneity, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to just drop everything and run away. But I mean, if you're thinking about it, then at least if something happens 2 years down the road, you're already in the headspace. You're like, I'm gonna do it. Well,
I think easier than never is now.
Easier than never is now.
Yeah,
it's very.
This is why I put it this way.
New year, new me.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like people, like for example, I'm gonna set the stage for you to finish my point. Okay. Now more than ever, there's an opportunity for a carpenter to make furniture, but also increase the value of his offering just because of his name on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? The guy that made this table, it's not this one, but just a random table, an artisan table. If he goes out there and teaches people how to build these things, he's going to become a teacher, and then he's going to be a popular teacher, and then a personality, whatever. Now my table that I used to sell for $500 is now $5,000 because there's so much demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now more than ever, more ever know than now, or whatever. Someone here who is an avid cannabis user, right? An avid cannabis enthusiast, has the opportunity to make a living off of what they love doing, which is smoking and reviewing, or smoking and doing stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because in this industry, there are a ton of people. Okay, there's probably tens of thousands of people that create content around cannabis, which is nothing in comparison to what it will be super popular. Think about wine.
I mean, yeah, I don't know about the wine YouTube community, right? But I do know that at the very least, when I was in college, like my roommate would watch like this channel, like Custom Grow 420 or something like that. Yeah. And like I knew the fact that I even knew about that there was a weed community, far more illicit at the time.
Yeah.
Was enough for me and most people to realize, like, okay, if you like it, if a lot of people like it, a lot of people like weed, there is a bunch of people that are going to want to consume content or something around it. And to your other point, yeah, it like no better time than now, no easier time than now to monetize whatever you want to do, because there's so many tools payment options, like ways of supporting yourself or having people support you, companies, all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, like it's there for you, like all the pieces, you got to put it together. But yeah, absolutely, there's opportunities in the cannabis space if you just like it.
Just if you like it.
Nothing even serious. Like if you just like weed, yeah, and then maybe you end up working with somebody who's glass blowing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's again one of the, and it's not just cannabis, right? Like if you're a knitter or if you are I don't know, a gather, a hunter,
all my knitters out there, like all of the.
Not that close.
Big fan of crocheting.
Yeah, crocheters out there. But if in theory, if you think about it, like that is available for everyone because you're not original, right? There's so many people like you, and that's a good thing. There's so many people like you that consume and like the same thing that you do, and immersing themselves in that is dope. If you know what I mean? Like if I'm an artist, I want to hear what other artists are doing so I can be inspired and then become a better artist.
Right. And you're not original is something that is important too, because everybody wants to have the idea, but the truth is you don't need to be the idea. Like there's a lot of profit and benefits in being the second best. Like if you're the second, you think Samsung gets really pissed off that Apple is worth more than them?
Yeah.
Like, no, they're not like seething in the corporate headroom. No. Like
shit.
I'm sure at some level they do, but it's not like that. You can still make something good that is similar to something else and still reap a ton of benefits. Like, how many gameplay channels there are. Like, how many Call of Duty channels there were. It's
when was the last time you watched a video commentary? Like a gameplay video commentary.
I watched a little,
like
Smitty. I watched like a video of his of like a game that I wanted to play just to see if I would like it. And it was like 6 minutes and I was like, okay, that's enough.
Was it a story time where he was telling you?
No story time. No, it was like highlights. Okay. He has very like live
and he was talking about specifically the game.
Yeah,
so not
game.
Necessarily.
Not even like the good old days.
The good old days.
Where it's just one take commentaries.
Like I went to the store and it was insane. Yeah. It's like, all right.
It's just like, and my mom tried to get the salsa. Anyways, I've got a lot of homework today. Like it was like a blog.
Yeah.
Just with video game footage in the background.
Yeah. It's like a diary entry.
There's
on video with the background. Call of Duty.
Terrifying to me that there's 4,000 plus video diary entries of mine for me to comb through. Cause like I've gone through, you get those like, hey, this time 10 years ago, Facebook message. You're like, damn, I was cringy. Like whatever I just said, awful.
Yeah.
But imagine having that in video form. It's going to be so bad when I have to sit through those.
Is it? Or would you want to see your dad's daily vlog from when he was 17?
Right. See, that's why I understand the value it has to everyone and myself. It's just I'm going to have to drink heavily. Like I'm going to have to. Yeah. It's just it's tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think
there's raps on there. It's just like,
is there,
dude? There's so many. It's gonna be bad.
I don't know.
That was a high school.
The private feature's always there. I just think if for no other reason, just like upload as your hard drive, like family parties, like that sort of thing. Like you can upload them and keep them like private. Like it doesn't even have to be
free video hosting. It's YouTube. It's free. You don't have to pay for Dropbox.
And you get to enjoy it. You will. You are gonna want to see that moment.
Yeah, and you can private it if it matters to you, and you don't have to like write a shot list down of like your family vacation vlog.
Yeah,
you don't need to do that. You can just record some stuff and put it together.
Chronological order.
Yeah,
for
just
you.
like
It's just so good.
Finish.
I don't know. I think it's good. I don't have that many videos, but especially vlogs. But
I hate vlogging. I hate it. It makes I don't like making everybody else the like background character to my life. Like, you know what I mean? It feels
but
weird.
They are.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's a main character but me. No, but I don't like being like, if somebody has a camera and films me, easy, right? Yeah. But me having to film myself, I hate the way it looks.
I got over it.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm done with that. But yeah, vlog with your kids. But only if they're old enough to say they want to do it. Because if they're like 6, and you force them to do it.
Well, no, not if you don't monetize. If you want to monetize it, then do that. But if you're not, then you're free to do as you please.
Hey, it's great weed. I got super high at the release party. Not as high as Hutch. That boy was zonked out. But yeah, I ate so many of those tacos. I had like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just good.
I think Omens, a friend of mine, ate like 25. And somebody was bragging. Like it was a talk. The same way that the peanut butter breath was a conversation after the party, this was also
was like the other highlight.
It was like, holy shit, this dude ate 25.
I mean, they were street tacos, but they weren't skimping.
No.
Which also, I gotta say, out of all the things you could ever have at a weed release party, like a taco truck is T1. I was worried that there wasn't gonna be anything when I first got there, because I didn't.
Yeah, no, there was plenty to go around. We're talking about the launch party for Pine Park. Yes, something we didn't mention.
Yes.
It was one of the funnest parties I've ever done, and it wasn't about it was just about how good of a time I was having.
You were having a great time. You were smoking a gold leaf blunt at one point.
It was a gift.
Yeah. By the way, we got to stop with gold leaf on food, in weed. It's just metallic. I don't know who made this a thing.
I don't think that the amount of smoke that goes into you, or
it just tastes metallic. And like the gold joints and stuff, they don't burn as well. Just stop using gold leaf. Use like cigar paper or like wraps or something.
I stopped smoking blunts because I was only smoking blunts. I had to stop smoking.
They're so good though.
Yeah.
Because I don't smoke nicotine at all. So if I took a hit of a vape pen, I'd be like head high.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just not a thing. However, some about a blunt where did I get one from? Oh, I was at like where was I? I was at an Insomniac party, the record company, and they have their own weed strain. So some guy was giving away blunts, and I was like, man, I haven't smoked one of these in a while. And I got like a third of the way through, and I was just like, like
hacking,
just hacking. I mean, they're harsh, but fun.
Where do you think the influencer space is going from this perspective? Like,
I mean, my best friend Cheney Cray, who's a musician and a streamer, probably gets sent more weed than anything I've ever seen. Like, we get care packages, whatever, but Raw will send her a care package, and it's way too much. It's like 36 packets of wrapping paper, or of rolling papers, right? But it's great. It's cool. And I love that. And so it's good to see companies sending some stuff out. Like I've gotten some stuff to, I think that everybody recognizes that it's a little bit easier to have a discussion around weed than it was 5 years ago, even, because it was something that I never talked about. I was just worried about how it looked outward facing and stuff.
Your audience has also grown up with you.
Everybody, right. And I'm at the point where like my average audience is like 18 to 24.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord. Right.
Yeah.
We've made it. This is it. So, I'm 28. So I understand the value, and it's not like I'm on stream out here just ripping joints and just like, weed's great,
Yeah.
But, it's we're at a different point now. Way easier to talk about it. And the fact that it's legal in all the states in the West Coast pretty much, and how much easier it is to have that, like, no, it's okay. It's not something illegal everywhere.
And it wasn't always like that, right? Obviously, Twitch had a problem with it. Like the amount of times that people had to submit like actual proof that they lived in a legal state, and even then it wasn't good enough, right? Even then they had to go through their own internal processes before that, because it's Amazon.
Super weird, but I mean, and now it pretty much is. We're not going to ask. Just don't be weird about it.
Yeah.
At least you can, because I was worried that maybe at some point they draw the line and they just say federally legal, and I'm like, we're never getting there. I mean, we will, but not anytime soon. So it's just like, whatever.
Obviously, the gaming industry, immediately when you say gaming, people think, young kids. And although that is a fact, young kids do play video games, the amount of people that are of age that game is also like massive.
Average age of a gamer is probably like 26. If I had to guess.
You want to be surprised?
Is it higher?
I heard it was 60.
Average age?
Yeah, just
don't make any sense.
Old ladies playing some fucking
okay, I'm gonna say average age of like a real gamer.
The good thing about 2022 is we have iPhones.
Oh man, we do.
Average age of gamer. The average, 35.
35. All right, and you know what? So that's why if I said 28. 35, you're right, are skewed by the elderly who are out here playing solitaire 9 hours a day, right? But if we're talking about people that are like playing MMOs and like FPSs or whatever. Yeah, 28 is a completely normal thing. So we're talking about people my age and probably older. It definitely skews towards people thinking of younger kids just because like they do have more free time.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, I don't know. It's just so much easier to talk about gaming now with even parents than it was when I was growing up.
Yeah. I mean, gaming is a pastime, right? There's no shot that you can, if you're passing the time doing that, what aren't you doing? Essentially, but balance and obviously now the ability to do just about anything, be a carpenter, an electrician. I've seen, I mean, think about just cooking in general, how big cooking is on YouTube. How many not chefs are making chef money?
I mean, I watch Binging with Babish. I watch like all these, Gugas and these chef channels. Even one, I mean, big shout out to the ones that don't say a damn word and it's just them cooking quietly.
Yeah.
Natural sounds, love it. And it's like I'm watching this happen, and I'm one of 3 million, 5 million people who have watched this video, and the video's only been out for a year or anything, and it's not gonna not be entertaining for people in 5 years. It's evergreen content. Cooking's got to be one of the easiest ways to rack up viewership because you can just revamp your recipe 5 years later, and I'm just gonna click on the new steak 40-day dry age steak cooking, whatever. I mean, I don't know. So I big shout out to all the YouTube chefs. Also, that's how I watch and learn.
Yeah.
I don't know how to cook half this stuff. So I'm like, show me what the salmon should look like.
Yeah. Any tips on cooking shows? Because I'm bringing mine back, and the way that I used to shoot it by myself was like mega difficult.
It's so annoying. So I have these wireless cameras called like Mevos or something, and they have like audio desync, which is annoying. But when they work, it's a pretty easy way to get a 3-camera setup, and then I think you should stream it, right? Like it's more fun that way. You get to have a dialogue and you can cook longer meals, but don't cook TikTok recipes because I've done that. It was pretty awful. Like flaming hot Cheeto mac and cheese was bad. Chip bag omelet was notoriously awful. So I would.
Do you think that people just like do that just because people want to see something reinvented?
It's performance food.
Yeah,
it is like when you see people who have like like cakes that have like fondant or whatever it's called. It's like thick plasticky icing.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're not like you're just spray painting.
Chewy.
Yeah. I don't. It's not a good cake, right? Just like this food isn't good. In your head, you're like, fuck, I'd try that. But like, it's not good. It's just not. So it's and even if it is good, there's better ways to make it. You don't need to do all that.
So I mean, I like the streaming idea because that means that I don't have to edit it. Right,
yeah,
because that's what it is. It's an actual show, and you're here for the whole fucking process.
And you can knock it down too, right? Like that's what
afterwards
I do with
post.
mine. Yeah, I do it in post, and I make it like a 15-minute video. Knock that down to a 2-minute video, and then you're like, all right, a lot of content.
Okay, so you've done a bunch of different stuff because of you've done gaming, the realtor, you've done fucking pro gaming.
Technically true.
Aren't you one of the highest earning?
Was a top 100. For a little bit, earning North American Counter-Strike player.
Yeah. Think about that. Qualified to be professional?
Yeah, I mean, hey, earned more money than some of the actual
competitive, actual pros. Yeah.
So I mean, I wear that to the day that I die. I think I'm like 135 now. It's been a couple years since I've competed.
Are you? Wait, what? So what place are you in right now?
That's like 135.
Oh, 135. Like you're still in the top 200.
Listen, it's gonna take a while for me to get knocked out.
How much was that?
I think my career earnings are like $9,000.
Yeah.
Right. Which is like you're like that's nothing, but you're right, it is nothing. However, everybody else who's not playing in like normal tournaments, their career earnings like $150.
Yeah, so. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you've done a bunch. If there is anything out there that you haven't done on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, what is it?
All right, so I mean, I have done Zillow home tours and stuff, but what I haven't done is physically do that. So I have a good friend who sold me my apartment, who works with this realtor called Aaron Kerman, who's like one of the biggest ones. And they're here in LA. So I hit her up at the end of last year, like a week ago. And I was just like, hey, we need to talk about this. She's like, yeah, it sounds interesting. Just line up 4 houses. Yeah. And then like, I'll go spend an hour in each and just walk around, edit each one down. Like then you have like a POV content. I'm like, who's streaming this stuff? No one. So, and those videos crush on YouTube. It's what I spend Friday mornings watching. I'm just like, Ennis up to today? Like, you just tore me. Let me see a RV.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to. I just want to walk around and be like, is that an aquarium built into the toilet? That's sick. Yeah. Like, so I think that could be a lot of fun. Definitely something nobody's done.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything right now in my head that I would want to do. I mean, the chef thing, obviously, like going back to cooking the Mexican dishes, but aside from that, there isn't something.
There's nothing burning a hole.
Nah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice though. Like, gives you a little refresh, because I definitely have like moments where I feel like there's too many things that I want to put my attention into, and so I do none of them well, or I don't do any of them well enough, and so I feel like the times where you're just kind of empty and you're just floating around, not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Better to have some work to do that's meaningful than just too much work that's just distracting from all the other shit.
Yeah. I mean, especially since you're in the business of doing things that are fun right now, right? It's like,
I think this is it. This is like as fun as it's gonna get.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. What's after this? What is after this? We got to do. It'd have to be like vacation tour videos.
Yeah, right. Like literally nothing. What, spa treatments?
I'm going to Bali, and I'm touring every resort for the next 2 months.
I'm going to Bali and just getting massages for the whole time.
Hector's world masseuse tour. You're hitting it. It's like
I'm just gonna come out just like
so
smush.
Loose. Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, exactly. with a brand new dance. If you weren't doing what you're doing today, right? Let's say the internet disappeared completely. What do you think an old Tucker would have been doing?
See, that's the problem. I just talked to my therapist about this yesterday, because she asked the same thing, and I was like, how do I answer that when I started YouTube when I was 15? Like, I don't even know what real work is, because like I was just doing Chick-fil-A jobs. So not to say that's not real, but I meant like structured work that's not hourly, etc.
Not that is unstructured.
I don't. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Chick-fil-A not a real
that it's
job.
not meaningful.
You're not real people either. Okay, none of you matter.
You're not changing the world.
Yeah.
All
right. God, my pleasure. So outside of that, what were we talking about?
Like, what would you be doing?
Oh yeah, what would I be doing? I mean, so
I want to talk about your therapist.
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's talk first about the
what I wanted to do.
First. Yeah.
I wanted to go to college to be a physical therapist because I wanted to be involved in sports, but that's actually really, really hard to get into, especially since I'm not very medically inclined. If everything disappeared right now, easiest job in the world has to be a news anchor. Like you're telling me I think it's the biggest for highway robbery that these guys get paid money, because I think about what I do every day, which is unscripted, unstructured content, like stream of consciousness for hours. Yeah. Right. And you're telling me that they read what to say.
Yeah. Somebody else makes the news. He just talks about
it. Before anybody's like, teleprompters are different. Like I've done so many teleprompter shows, and it is like being on training wheels. I could be so high and just crush it. Just give me inflection comment points. And I'm like, it's like second nature. You're just reading. So
I tried it. You know how TikTok had that?
Yeah.
I tried it. I was like,
but I think it's different, by the way. It definitely is something that like you have to get used to, but way harder to read it on your phone like normally than it would be to look at a camera and have like the mirror behind it.
Yeah.
I just find it's like a little less disorienting because all your vision's not just whatever the scrolling stuff is.
Yeah. I don't know what I would be doing.
News anchors, free money.
What do you want?
They work like 3 hours too.
Yeah. Did you date a news anchor?
No, but I've been thinking about it. Like some of my exit strategies. Like I probably would get like a realtor's license.
You would.
Yeah, and so like maybe I wake up, do the morning news from like 5 till 8, then sell some houses.
Yeah.
Go, they're like, hey, there goes Tuckbone, the realtor.
The realtor.
The realtor, and I can show my own business out there.
Yeah, the morning you legally change your name to Tucker Ltd. So it appears as like, now giving you the weather, Tucker Ltd. Better than ST. No, that's gaming comedy for streaming. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket. Let's just keep that.
Yeah, I was like,
let's not bring that sort of bullshit here.
Don't want that energy.
No.
Don't want your STDs.
Well, look, I think that if you ever decide that you want to do something else and cannabis is your thing, what would be the show? What would be the show? Let's start there.
See, there's a lot of podcasts where you get high
Mhm.
and you talk about stuff, right?
Yes.
And so I feel like that's pretty locked down. And then, that's as good as your guests and your host, right? So you guys
So
kinda
really
already,
good.
you guys
Really
already do that, right? So what I would like is you can still smoke, but like put it into situations where it would be, I guess it would not be at a table. So like go to LACMA, go to the art museum with somebody and just like you can do a podcast, but just like walk around and look at the art, or make food with them, right? So then you do your cooking stuff, and then you smoke a little, and then you're just like making high food or
remember
whatever.
that My Drunk Kitchen with
Yeah.
Hardo?
Well, I think like Action Bronson has like does some stuff. Fuck, that's
Munchies?
delicious.
Fuck, That's
Or
Delicious.
maybe Munchies too.
One of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, it's great stuff. So like something like that would be cool too. I'm all down to watch people who either do or don't smoke. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
cool. I know that's already gonna
Yeah.
be funny, but it's like where do you go from there, and what makes it a little bit unique. So I'm all for like, hey, let's go to Six Flags. We'll do the podcast
Yeah.
at Six Flags, but we're eating 1,000 milligram edible.
Yeah.
and
and
we're gonna drool on ourselves. Oh man, that'd be awful.
that would be awful, especially with gravity. G forces going really fast.
Face
you just
melting.
already melting. So you're just not.
That sounds awful. I would never.
Yeah, someone's suffocating for sure with their own lips.
Yeah.
Just gone. Well, look, man, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
I would like to figure out, a more frequent. Yeah, please, by all means, a more frequent something. Let's figure something out. Let's work on something together.
Yeah, we should. We should do we could do our own pesto strain. Pesto Boys strain.
Pesto
you
Boys strain.
you could do you should do limited.
I am.
Okay, well,
Head of the
fuck you
game.
then.
Head of the game. All right, man. All of Jericho's information is going to be listed in the description down below. If you don't already have it, check him out. He's got some really, really good stuff. As he stuffs about an ounce of Chem Reserve in his
It
Piet
is
Para.
what I'm legally
Nike
allowed to
SB.
carry on me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
An
LA,
ounce.
really?
I think an ounce is how much you can fly out of LAX with. But
Not recommending it.
no, it's in. You can go to their website, flylax.com/TSA, and I promise you, it's legal.
I'm not saying anything regarding that. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
I wonder if that's their actual URL. I mean, it's 100% true, but I just don't know if that's the